Hi guys, and welcome to Love Yourself to Success podcast. I'm your host Aaliyah.
And I'm Chanel.
And we'll be discussing all things self-love related.
We'll be discussing unselfish self-love,
healing practices,
deep wisdom,
empowerment,
universal concepts,
manifestation,
mindset shift,
boundaries,
and communication,
reinvention,
and real deep truths.
This is Self-Love Redefined. Today we will be discussing how to be in a flow state of mind. We're also going to discuss some neuroscience and scientists and some facts that we think you should definitely know. And we're also going to discuss the connection between water and the human body and the flow state.
Lovely.
Yeah. Lovely. So let's get right into it. So what does flow state, what does it mean to you?
So being in, you know when they say like, go with the flow?
Yeah, literally.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, it is for a reason. And I think, yet again, we overlook a lot of simple things.
Yeah, 100%.
Like the saying, go with the flow. It's a state of being. It's a state of like allowing, receiving, just allowing life to direct you where, just in a natural way. Do you know what I mean?
I think we're most challenged as humans because we are so stuck in routines. We are in the rat race a lot of the time. So people don't even consider the fact that, generally, let me just go with the flow, because they just don't have the time to, and they don't have time to consider it.
Yeah.
And I can speak from personal experience. Like, it's taken me a very long time to master a routine, which in essence matches my lifestyle, but also still being in a flow state, knowing that I do have to work to a particular routine because I have got a lot of things to do in one day.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's someone out there that's got way more to do in one day than me. But even for me and just where I'm at, sometimes I do struggle, and I'm like, Aaliyah, just breathe. You know how things are going to go.
Yeah.
You are the creator of your day.
Yeah.
Just let it flow.
And the whole point of the flow is so that you can just be in that state of non-resistance and receiving mode.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
definitely.
mean? Because we could be calm, we could be peaceful, but sometimes we still don't go with the flow. In small ways, and then we build up this resistance, like, oh, why is this not working out? Why is that not working out?
And actually, in a flow state, that's when you perform at your best.
Yeah.
You know, like it's been said by a lot of athletes that, you know, being in a flow state, you perform at your best ever, really. And I think once you're able to master that, you don't get so stressed as well. Because a lot of the time I feel like, especially me, I definitely used to get frustrated at things that I have no control of. And it's like, why, Leah? Like, why are you even bothering?
That's a
Do you know
big
what I
thing.
mean?
That's a massive resistance thing as well, like not accepting that you're not in control of
Yeah.
anything. And also being in the flow state is being able to say, this has happened, oh my God, why is it, you know, if I am going with my purpose, my passion, or if I'm doing something that I feel confident about, why is this barrier coming up? But really, you know, we need to just, and we need to know that it's a part of the process.
Yeah, and I've definitely, for me personally, I'm definitely like, if something happens to me, which irritates me, I'm like, oh, I can't control it, just move on.
Yeah.
And just try, and you know why I actually say that to myself, because I'm still learning and I'm still teaching myself to just relax a little bit more and just allowing things to happen. But also, as soon as I say that, I'm then straight into solution mode as to how I can fix what the problem is.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of dwelling in it.
Yeah.
As soon as I have that conversation with myself, is you can't control it, so what are you gonna do about it?
Well, that's the part of the flow state too.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like saying, okay, that's happened.
Yeah.
I couldn't stop that.
Yeah.
Or even if it was your mistake, you could say, all right, maybe I caused that. Maybe I could have made a better decision, or I couldn't control that. But it's happened.
Yeah.
I made a mistake, or that was out of my control. But now I'm going to decide how I respond, how I maneuver, how I react, what direction I take now. Because in every moment we have choices. Do you know what I mean? And being in the flow state is about just managing whatever happens at each stage.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So to me, that's definitely like the flow state in terms of abundance.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Being in the flow to receive, and, you know, not blocking yourself, and also being in flow with life.
Yeah. and responding in the right way to things when they're happening to you as well.
Like water.
Yeah, like water. What she said. And how do you get in the zone? Like
the flow state.
Yeah, how do you get into the flow state?
I think, first of all, you got to... Sometimes the flow state happens without you even knowing that you're in the flow state. Sometimes you just start getting involved with something that you really enjoy. A good book, even a film. Like, you're just watching a film, you're just like you're in a zone. Do you know what I mean? You're actually in a state of relaxation, acceptance. That's why films and music and these things can program you more so, because you're in a very receptive state, because you're relaxed. You know, you're taking a lot in.
Very true.
Do you know what I mean?
never actually looked at it from that perspective. That's a very interesting perspective.
Yeah, you kind of get zoned out in a way, or you can zone in. So you can zone into like your work or whatever it is you're doing. But if you're enjoying it, you're just gonna. I
think actually they do that in shops as well. Like, you know, I think the reason behind why they play music when you're in stores
helps put you in the zone.
Help you to relax, so you're focused on.
Interesting fact about that as well. Like entrance, when you enter a shop, it means you're entering a trance. Entrance, so it's like an etymology thing, which is like the breakdown of the roots of a word. So like, it's interesting, really stuff. Interesting stuff. So like, there's a lot of things that they do on purpose, like the media. They know how we work, so they take advantage of that and put us into modes and states and zones by music, put you in that relaxed state when you're shopping, so you could spend more money. So you could flow with your cash. As well.
Guilty. And do you know what the worst thing about it is? They're still guilty, and I'm still guilty of shopping, and I haven't even been in the stores. I know there's loads of you guys out there that have been doing loads of Amazon orders, hitting up every sale. I'm with you. Do you know what I mean?
Look, I've been quite bad, actually. I just can't be asked.
But in all honesty, though, like, everything I've bought is a necessity. But anyway, we're getting.
I hear you.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just that I've been programmed.
You just go with the flow, though. You need some stuff, so you're gonna go get that.
You know what I mean? A little sale. Why not? 60% off. Why not? Do you know what I mean?
The same thing with like why they say like. This is how not being in the flow state can block your abundance as well. It's like, if you pay your bills and you're like in Scrooge mode about it, like you're like, I've got to pay the rent. Really, rather than seeing it as actually, regardless of whatever it is, I've always got to pay my rent or always got to pay these bills to have the comforts, like having a roof over my head.
Right.
So when you pay your rent and you're just like, even because I know what it's been like sometimes in the past, like you've had to pay this big rent, you're just like, but really, you should do it with gratitude in your heart. Even though it's easier said than done. Do you know what I mean? Because you're going with the flow. You're saying, I would like a roof over my head, so I'm going to pay my rent happily. Even though it might be a bit tight on cash. Happily knowing that it's allowing me to have that.
Right. And you're in the position to even...
Yeah, I might be, lost my money, but you know what? I know that I'm going to do things to put me in a better position. I know that I'm paying for the roof over my head. I'm just moving with the flow. I'm not resisting things that I know I need or that I know I have to look after. Do you know what I mean? It's for my own benefit. Right. So even like, again, being in flow, when you don't want to, when you got that gym membership and you don't want to use it, do you know what I mean? And you're just... You're in resist. You're like,
can I just cut you, guys? I'm really like, every time I hear the word gym, it really affects me because I'm really missing the gym. I could actually cry. Like, I really am missing the gym, honestly. I've tried running. I'm not a runner. It's not for me. I can't be asked to go and buy a bike neither. So yeah, every time I hear the word gym, it's a bit of an emotional trigger. So if I go silent, I'm struggling. That's the reason why.
But you got mashed up at the gym today.
Yeah, so I did a little training session today. So my body's in bits. It's reflecting how I'm dressing and everything. But yeah, it's still not the gym. But yeah.
But flow state, it's about literally just being in that mode of just knowing where you're at, knowing why you're doing certain things. Again, it's awareness, self-awareness. It's like, why am I doing these things? If an obstacle comes in the way, well, why am I doing this thing? Yeah. Where, is it worth me overcoming these obstacles for
it? And also as well, I think it's about, just because we was talking about gym, like, it's about doing what works for you that gets you in the flow state. Like, for me personally, I know if I go gym, it gets me in a mode of just, like, although I'm lifting weights and I'm pushing a lot of heavy stuff, it's actually so therapeutic for me. And I always feel so relaxed. I feel like I've conquered something already, and that gets me into a flow state of mind.
I think sticking to like some type of routine, gym, whatever, especially if it pushes you a bit
and makes you happy.
I feel like it also builds mental strength.
Oh, 100%.
You know, so
and it's definitely
like a double...
more. It's definitely. I've realised over the years that I definitely enjoy exercising at the gym more for my mental health than my physical health. Because in all honesty, I've never really had that much of an issue with my weight. I've always tried to better myself and always, you know, look fit, be toned. But I've never really it started off obviously because I wanted to lose weight, but actually I need it more for my mental health than I do for my physical.
I've heard a lot of people say that though, but I find the same thing like with yoga.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If I'm feeling a bit and I do something again, I'm like,
yeah.
You know, it's like it's an energy thing too. It's mental and it's energy and it's physical.
Yeah, 100%. And there's different types of yoga as well, isn't there? That's that helps you get into...
There's loads of different types.
Yeah.
There's more like meditative types of yoga. There's more physical stretching and, you know,
Kundalini yoga.
Yep.
Yeah, we've done a bit of that.
We did a bit of that,
on a boat.
Nice,
it was really nice.
So yet again, resistance is, like we've mentioned, we touch on resistance, but it can be a massive part of what blocks our flow state in general. So like when you are being triggered on a regular basis, when you're stressed, when you're in a state of dis-ease, you're not sleeping enough, whatever it is, you're just worried, you block your flow. Because if you want to be in abundance mode, it's about saying, you have to have a certain amount of belief that you know the universe is going to support you.
Surrender.
And that helps you to choose in alignment with knowing that there are other things out there supporting you and that you just need to match its vibration.
Right.
Without sounding like hella like dibby and spiritual or anything doing too much, do you know what I mean? But I think the fact of it is that I think we realise that the universe by now is all vibration.
Right.
And I personally think it makes a lot of sense, because I do understand some science, that you will match to certain vibrations. Just the same way that for someone to trigger you, they have to say something that can penetrate you, which means that there's some type of match there, even though you might be like that person, if that makes sense. Because if you're healed from something and you're over something, it's not going to trigger you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So being in that flow state is knowing that when you've got certain things that are blocking your energy and that's creating resistance within you, and removing that and allowing that belief, that flow, that relaxation that comes in. Like if somebody gave, say for instance, if you've got those debts and there's somebody comes along and says, you know, here's, 20k, pay off all your debts, you've been losing sleep over it, you've been stressed.
That would be nice.
Yeah, so the feeling that you would have in that state, like, oh my God.
The relief.
That's the actual state you want to be in. That's the feeling you want to go for, because then you're going to be vibrating in the frequency that the universe can say, that's her vibe. Give her some more of that. Do you know what I mean? So that's a part of allowing yourself to be more open. It's like mindset, the energy that you're in, because when you're worried, you feel it. You feel it.
True.
You know the difference.
Even your body, like your body feels tense.
Your
everywhere,
heart is
everything.
probably just feeling heavy, or you're just feeling stress, headache.
And you carry around that energy as well.
You do. You carry it in your face, in your muscles, in your energy, the way you breathe, everything. So it does affect you physically, how you feel, which affects your energy, your everything.
And I think the process of getting, if you're someone now who doesn't feel like you live your life in a flow state of mind, it is a process, and you do have to practice being patient with yourself. And I think the first step really is acknowledging your flaws, acknowledging the things that make you unhappy, and slowly, or the people in your life that you just feel like aren't really your flavor anymore, and slowly just start to ask the universe for some guidance, or whoever, meditate on it, and make small choices that will get you to the reality that you want. So, even if that means, you just stop talking to someone for a little while, or just let someone know that you're having a bit of you time and you're figuring things out. Yeah. And just slowly start that process, and you will slowly become more, you will surrender to who you are. you'll feel confident in who you are, and that will allow you to get into that flow state of mind and start receiving. But it's really important that you do acknowledge those things that make you unhappy, or those flaws or those triggers beforehand. Otherwise you're always going to be battling against yourself, and you'll never truly be. You might be in a flow state for a day, but then that person comes into your life, or that thing that you do that you don't enjoy doing happens, and you jump right back. And you have to remember our brains are wired to feel comfortable when we're used to a familiar feeling. So when you go right back into that moment of stress or sadness or frustration, it's so easy to get comfortable with that feeling, because that's how our brains are wired, because it's a familiar feeling for us. So it's about breaking that down. Especially in society.
We're used to being stressed.
100%. And it's unfortunately it's promoted as normal. And the reason why I say it's promoted as normal, because look at what the mainstream news penetrates every day. It's rarely ever positivity, and if it is positivity, it's the 10-minute segment after the main hour show.
Some positive things happening in the world.
There's loads.
And they understand it affects people's mental health.
And even down to like COVID-19, right? Like, I'm sure people have at work, I'm sure you've all received some kind of wellness email about how it is to work from home, or, you know, for anyone struggling. You don't see the mainstream news and giving people tips on how to cope
with mental health.
Instead, it's just facts and figures that are debatable if they're actually correct or not. But, you know, how about saying, okay, this is what we're dealing with, world. You know, there's a major pandemic, which I really struggle to say because I don't agree. But there's a global pandemic going on, and why don't we think about how we can help our society cope through this? Because it's happening. You know, they don't do that. So you do really have to just completely take a step back and break those old patterns, but only you can do that.
And also I feel like there's this, we go through, like, I feel like life is not this.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
And it would be boring if it was.
I feel like we do this, you know, we do this. Sometimes it's more of a, and sometimes it's like,
like a roller coaster.
You know, but so when you do actually go, and also that's the same, being in flow is also accepting when you are just having a shit day, when you are just feeling grumpy, but it's about being aware and knowing how you're responding to it.
But you know what, back to just like life being like a bit of a roller coaster, I actually prefer to be on a roller coaster, on a flipping fast ride in life, than just being on a slow kiddie ride, because with the roller coaster you're up and you're down, but every time I'm down I'm learning something, and every time I'm up I'm elevating. That's how I see it. So, and that's for me, like, that's how I feel like I live my life, really. Like, everyone says, oh, you grow so quickly, or when I speak to you this time you're doing this, and then you're doing that.
Learning,
and
you know,
so
learning,
so you go
elevating, learning,
elevating. That's how you got to see it.
I love that.
You know, and that's how and to be fair, I do actually in general enjoy the thrill of a roller coaster. Like, flip me up, twist me down, flip me up, put me in water. I'm there. Do you know what I mean? But that's how I enjoy my life being like that. Like, sometimes I do get busy. I'm like, oh, what have I got to do? There's so much to do, but at the same time I know that I'm learning and I'm growing. Do you know what I mean? And every time there is a bit of a dip, I come right back up again, because and that's how I view life. That's how I have that perspective. The only way is ever up for me. Do you know what I mean?
For sure.
And I feel like when you have that,
when you're down, where else is there to go?
Right.
This is what people need to realise. If you're down, the only place really is up after that. Right. At some point, especially if you start making better choices or more informed decisions and starting to follow your heart.
And taking accountability as well.
Yes. And just being in the flow. So it's like you want to have your goals, your plans. It's not saying that you just live your life, looking at your vision board, knowing that the universe is going to bless you. No, it is. It is like being aware of yourself, what you want. If you don't know what you want yet, you explore what it is you want. Explore what it is you like. Do you know what I mean? But then as you're going along the way, creating your path, you are just going with the flow. If a challenge comes in the way, you find a way to solve it. If you can't solve it, you can't solve it. That's the being in the flow.
Yeah, and that's reflected in a quote as well that I created, saying, as you begin to sink in the pool of acceptance, you begin to flow.
I like that.
You like it?
Yeah. Very
into it.
Yeah. Very deep.
But it's very true though. Do you know what I mean? It's very, very true, because once you accept yourself, you then accept everything else that happens, and nothing's really ever an issue. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, life's just responding to me. And that's how I see it. When things happen, I'm like, okay, life's responding to me. What could have created that? Do you know what I mean? What thought created that moment? What action created that moment? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And once you're able to take your look at things from a bird's eye perspective on your own life, you won't even need so much opinions. You won't even need to ask, or you won't even need to seek guidance, because you know the guidance comes from within.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
100%. I like to think of it like you kind of, you know, like how a river starts or a stream starts. There might just be like you make a little, you know, a little small path for yourself. And then over time, it becomes greater and greater, that small little passage that you made. Do you know what I mean? Or just even like the idea of momentum.
Yeah.
That's like, you know, abundance, or, you know, creating something or starting something. And then, you know, you have to kind of push it in the beginning. You kind of have to put that energy out there to get it started. But once you've created that momentum, it just kind of takes off.
True.
You know, like, so there's these laws that I feel like are, some they're invisible, but they definitely apply, because I know that I definitely feel it in my life, and it's just, it's reoccurring. There's definitely a pattern. So yeah, just being aware of how you're feeling, what you're projecting, how you're responding. Like, if you're just getting stressed every minute at every obstacle, you need to really just be in flow and think, is this right for me, or is it my passion, but I'm literally just experiencing some obstacles?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You know, and just moving with that and responding to that in real time as well. Like, you plan ahead, you know, but you're moving and responding in the present, in real time. That's flow, because all there really is the present.
Right.
So every minute it's a choice, every minute is a lesson, every minute it's an experience. And this is where we get to be aware that we are actually in the present. Do you know what I mean? Okay, I'm having a shitty day today. I'm going to flow with that. I'm just having a shitty day. I'm just going to just breathe. So I know I'm aware that I'm having a shitty day, rather than letting my shitty day control me.
Yeah.
So instead of you just walking around like, taking it out on everyone else, or I'm just in a shitty mood, that I'm just, fuck that, I'm doing like, I'm just going to go and just whatever now, watch Netflix. You can say, do you know what, I'm feeling a bit pants today. I'm just going to take some time to myself and just find the best state for me to be in for my mood, without judging myself for my mood. I could just keep myself to myself. I don't have to put it onto no one. I can just be, that's flow.
And I've personally definitely had to learn how to do that, because especially because I carry such a powerful energy, and I do know, you know, without this sounding really egotistical, and I know people around me would agree, but if you know me and I'm in a bad mood, I'm sure you can probably feel that I'm in a bad mood. And I've become very aware of that. So sometimes I don't have to speak, but my energy just gives off, you know, that I'm feeling some type of way about something. And I've really personally had to work on just not really projecting that on other people, even just through energy. Do you know what I mean? That's not me speaking, not by how I'm walking. It's just how... Do you know what I mean? It's really mad. How I've managed to do that is really just through meditating. And I always find that if I start my day with meditation, or even end my day with meditation, so that when I wake up in that state, it definitely, from an energy perspective anyway, I feel like I don't project off my energy to other people. Do you know what I mean? But some people have, you know, I would say bigger energies than other people, where it's more noticeable. And some people's more subtle and you can't really tell. But definitely with me, if I'm annoyed, you definitely know about it. Yeah, sorry, not sorry.
And see, when something happens to you and we just stay there, we're not in flow.
Right.
We're now
stagnant.
In a state, or we're stagnant, because and life is always moving. Atoms are always moving. Things that are growing are always moving. But so we can be still, but still be growing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we take some time out for ourselves to be still, to think, oh, do you know, I'm in a bad mood. Let me just chill, put myself in the best place I can be for this mood.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's kind of dropping the resistance and allowing you to still be, even when you're in a pissed off mood, you could still be in a state where you're like, I'm not blocking my blessings though.
Yeah.
But I'm going to allow myself to have this little mood.
Have my moment.
Look after myself.
Yeah.
And still be not
so tense.
Just I'm pissed. But
And I think the more you practice that as well, the more uncomfortable it will be for you to feel so tense and stressed and irritated. Like, for me, it's not comfortable for me anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, if something irritates me, I do my best to just handle those, like, become aware of those emotions, acknowledge it, and then figure it out and move on. I really do my best not to dwell on anything that annoys me. Like, for example, we had a real big technology issue this week with our hard drives, and we basically lost a lot of work.
Yeah.
But
damn retrograde.
Yeah, but straight away, my first thought was, do you know what? I'm grateful this happened now, because even if this happened 2 weeks later, we would have added so much more work to it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm kind of just like, do you know what? It's happened, and we just have to get a new one and try and get the stuff back. And if we can't, we can't. But I know if that was me even 6 months ago, I'd have been like, it's so annoying. I've only had it for a few weeks and blah, 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 blah. It's so... But
do you remember what my response was?
What did you say?
Said you lost the stuff on the hard drive.
No.
I was just like, okay.
Yeah, literally. Like, you know, it's just like...
I was like, well, if it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, what can you do?
It's annoying.
Yeah, really,
but...
and it's okay to say to yourself, I'm irritated.
Yes,
do you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm not gonna just cuss about it. Basically, it's not gonna help nobody.
So in your day,
I was just like, do you know what? It kind of is what it is.
If it's gone, we just have to re-record, or or remove,
or recreate, whatever. Like, but like I said, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And the solution is just getting a new one and just being extra careful. And we now know that we need to have backups for everything.
Yeah, and
double
also,
twice.
yeah, again, so learning.
Yeah,
you know, but yeah, like. Yeah, we have to just remember that.
But that was just an example of, I know that 6 months ago, I would have literally, and I just edited something as well, so I lost a whole brand new, and I was like,
it's definitely a process though. I think 100%. These things are like rituals, habits, you know, it's a mindset, like being in the flow state, because you can get in, like we said earlier, you can get into a flow state where you're just working on your laptop, or you're working on something, or you're studying or whatever, and you just write a lot, you know, like you just get a whole lot done because you're just in that state, and that's just something that just happens naturally sometimes when you're doing the right thing. But achieving the flow state more frequently, like where you can make it a part of your life, a part of your existence, that's how you receive. I'm like, I receive because I'm in flow state. You know, it's something that you have to kind of work towards if you don't already have that mastered. It's not something you're just going to switch on and say, well, okay, I've learned about flow state, or I'm going to learn, so I'm just going to be in flow state. Sometimes life is going to challenge you. Life still challenges me all the freaking time. We deal with our things, but I feel like because I've been practicing non-resistance for a long time, not loads gets me like really worked. Some things have been worked up though. I'm still human, but
don't test me.
Yeah, not a lot of things get me really uptight really quick. It has to be like kind of something that really hits my heart, or something that's really important. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's something that you just get a bit better with over time, all of these practices.
Yeah, no, 100%. So yeah, like in regards to getting in the flow state and being attached to things, the root of attachment is fear, and fear of loss. So like we spoke about this, I think in the first episode that we released, but being attached to things, people, external forces is not healthy for you. Like it really isn't.
Being attached to how you expect other people to behave.
Yep.
Like, you know, we've got our principles and our own morals and things that we would like from people, but I think we have to know that we can't expect it because you'll probably be let down. Potentially, maybe, you know. And that, do you know what I mean? Do you know why I say that? Because you don't want to be like, I need this person to come through with this. Yeah. Does that make sense? Like I think you could say like, if we make an agreement, I would expect you to come through with it.
Yeah.
You can
if there's been clear communication of
and even if it's like a friend and you expect them to do this or that or treat you in a certain way or whatever, it's still like you expecting it is like. Because they're human, they're unpredictable. You never know when someone's going to let you down. And sometimes they just do it. A lot of time people will let you down because of their own stuff, yet again. Sometimes they got issue with you, which is, again, is probably something to do with them. But, you know, if someone lets you down, it's probably because they're just like that, if that makes sense. And us sitting there having expectations on people, when sometimes they are just being themselves, or they are just going through something and they don't respond in the way you would expect them to, you're putting yourself in that, you're almost you've set this idea in your mind that someone else has to live by. Does that make sense? Like, we're all just humans and we all just do what we do.
Yeah.
And sometimes people just they're not always considerate. Sometimes people don't always remember the little things. Sometimes people, does that make sense? So it doesn't mean to say that you can't not be happy with something they do. So for instance, scenario, you got a boyfriend or something and he's supposed to do something really fancy. Do you know what I mean? But then he comes with something really little and then you're just like, it's okay for you to be like, hello?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, if you know that that guy is like that, he does the same thing for your birthday all the time. He never really makes an effort.
Money or whatever.
Yeah, so you would expect him to make an effort for your birthday. Yeah. But if he doesn't, yes, you can be mad. You can be mad all you like. But if he's not that guy, then you're just mad. You're just mad because you're mad because he's not changing who he is.
That's when you then need to start questioning who is in your life and if they're for you. Because for me personally, like, as you said that, I was kind of thinking, oh, like, who's treated me in a way in my past who potentially, you know, didn't meet an expectation of mine. And there's actually been quite a few people, but there's, because it's in the part, and that's resulted in us not being together or being friends or having a business relationship, etc. And actually now when I think about how I go about my friendships, there's some principles that we just have to have the same on. Because I know myself. Do you know what I mean? So I've only got a few really, really close friends, if I'm completely honest, which I'm sure most people say anyway. But there's a lot, like, me and Chanel have the same principles on most things. Do you get what I'm saying? And the same morals. So I know morally we're not going to disagree. Do you get what I'm saying? We might disagree on other things, but morally, which is the foundation, the core of our friendship, I know we agree on most things. And even from a business perspective as well. So I feel like all the other things that about Chanel that might be different to me, I don't have an expectation of, because I accept her for who she is, because we do have those, we do agree on those basic morals and principles. And I really think that that's how people should go about making a decision whether I'm going to give my energy to this friendship. Am I going to nurture this friendship so it can grow? Is their energy going to be reciprocated? You know? And a lot of us don't do that. A lot of us go off initial attachment, you know, like you might meet someone, catch a vibe, the friendship, whatever the scenario.
And it fits your little idea of what you like.
Yeah, and it fits the idea, but is that idea reality? And is that idea going to allow you to live in that flow state? Do you get what I'm saying? And it's like, I have different friendships, and it's like, even not just Chanel, but even my friend Stephanie, like, we have the same morals, but we disagree on quite a lot of other things, to be fair. Like from an opinion base. Do you know what I mean? But I know morally we can have the same expectations, so that allows me to be in that flow state, because I can relax when I'm around her. Or I do know when it comes to certain situations we are gonna agree. Do you get what I'm saying? And it makes such a difference.
And like, that's that whole harmony disharmony thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, when that's part of being in flow. It's like knowing what your emotions are doing, what's stressing you, how you're feeling. Like, is somebody in your life really not fitting into your morals, your principles? Are they overstepping the boundary of you? Are they making you feel uncomfortable on a regular basis? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's definitely about being in flow. That's what I'm saying, is about knowing, again, like self-awareness, like what is around me, what is triggering me, why is it triggered, like just knowing yourself, knowing what, you know, where you want to be. Do you know what I mean? I know I love the flow state, because there's other states that are simultaneous though. Do you know what I mean? Because there's the self-awareness state, there's the flowness state. But let's
be honest though, like, a lot of the other states are a byproduct of being in the flow state.
For sure.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
100.
so it's like the initial step is, yes, self-awareness, letting go of fear, but they are all byproducts of getting yourself to the flow state of mind, right?
Yeah, for sure. But like, we just gotta let it flow, man. You know, I like being in the flow state because it's comfortable. You know, once you drop some of the baggage and you let go of all the stuff, because sometimes dropping the baggage can be a bit difficult, but dropping some of that pain, some of that stress, some of that hurt, some of those expectations, even like just because just little expectations can let us down in some ways sometimes, especially when I feel like you put mad expectations on people. I feel like you either get on with the people around you or you don't. Doesn't mean say you're good. I think it's like what you say, like it's an energy thing. Like you get on with each other, you got similar morals and principles. So you know your friends not doing something absolutely crazy, and you're just like,
what is going on?
You know, like,
and you know what? And it's so funny to me because I'll be talking to someone and they will tell me a scenario, and I'll be like, you know, you look at people and you're like, how do you? Because sometimes I hear people's dramas and I'm like, that would never be a part of my life.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's because you accept that, you allow that to happen. Do you know what I mean? But when it comes to me, if I see someone's acting in a way that I don't necessarily agree with and I don't feel like I can cope with as a part of a friendship, bye, darling. It was nice, but it's not forever. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
And you're very accepting as well. I think we're both quite accepting.
Yeah, I am.
So for someone, for me to be like, you're not going to be my friend anymore.
It's quite a big thing.
Yeah, like you've really got to be doing something that I think, wow, that you're just so left with that. Like, I don't even know. I can't even work with that. Like, because it.
And I think as well, although we are very accepting, there's different levels to it though, because for example, like I'm very accepting of people, but there's some people that I don't speak with every day. So I'm just like, that's how you are, that's fine, doesn't affect me. Do you know what I mean? And to be honest, that's how I'm like with most, as long as what you're doing.
Anyone every day.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, apart from me. Anyway, I wanted to say a really powerful statement. Anyway, which is find a balance between honouring your feels that come up and also knowing that they can be transmitted whenever you decide you're ready to do something new. You are in control. I'm just going to repeat that, okay? Find a balance between honouring your feels that come up and also knowing that they can be transmitted whenever you decide that you're ready to try something new. Powerful, right? And it's very true. Like, you are in control. Do you know what I mean? And you can decide, okay, this is how I'm feeling today. I might be feeling a bit low today. I might be feeling like down. Am I still going to get up and feel that way tomorrow? Do you know what I mean? Am I going to allow that to take over me and take control of my life?
And that's when it becomes like a state in a way.
Yeah.
Or a state is like a long period of time.
Well, they call it
feeling
depression
a certain way.
or stress. Yeah, and then you go to the doctors and you ask for tablets and it's not necessary.
Yeah.
It really, and you know, some people don't necessarily agree with alternative medicine, which really irritates me because it's actually not alternative, it's the first type of medicine.
100%.
But
it's
whatever,
the first medicine.
We'll call it alternative medicine. Some people, you know, do go to the doctor at the first point of feeling like they're in that state. Do you know what I mean? At a bit of a flat line, but actually it doesn't help, you know. It just it's a belief. It's a belief that that's going to make you feel better.
Yeah, because they've done experiments and tests before on like placebo drugs, like which are drugs that basically, you know, everyone knows what placebo is. You know what I mean? Like you take it, but it doesn't actually really do anything, but you think it does. Like, because healing happens in here
first.
Do you know what I mean? Because that's the thing. There's been patients that have been really sick, and they've given them a tablet that doesn't do anything. It's a sugar pill, and they actually start to recover because the belief in their mind is that, this is going to make me better. So they believe that they're better.
Right.
And I know that I'm a person, I know I blatantly maintain my health so much just through my mindset.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, my mindset is that I don't get sick. I don't worry about getting sick. Like, my response when somebody says the word virus, flu, illness, sickness, corona is... Okay.
Yeah, literally.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I see there's no point in being like, when I break really, because don't get me wrong, when the corona thing first came out, I was like, the fuck.
Yeah, what's going on?
You know, but you know, when I did my research or whatever, I just decided that okay, to me it's like a flu. Okay, it's a flu. So I never run around like a headless chicken when there's flu. Do you know what I mean? And I don't really tend to get the flu because I kind of, and I know some people have caught, you know, the thing, but some people catch flu. 100%. Do you know what I mean? And also it's something that affects older people and people with underlying health issues, and it's messed up. But at the same time, I think the fear state, if you do research into it, if you actually research it, the fear state, like look at Joe Dispenza, all these types of people, you know, we love Joe Dispenza. But when you're in a fear state, your immune system, he's a doctor and he will validate what we're saying. Like, if you're in the fear state and in the stress state, literally your body reacts to it, your immune system drops.
And I will tell you, no word of lie, when lockdown first happened, don't you remember I had a really bad head? So this was like the first week of second week of lockdown.
Yeah.
I was really ill. Like I haven't had migraines for about 6 years, and there was one point I had migraines a few years ago, and I was in hospital for it, and they didn't diagnose me with anything. They said I had an acute form of migraine, and I had this similar headache just after lockdown, and I really had to kind of get myself together, and I didn't take any tablets. I just took like some magic potion. I have to say magic potion because I don't know what was in it. It was made for me, but it just had lots of herbal natural remedies in it. I used to drink that every morning. It tasted vile, but I drank it anyway, just held my nose. And I kind of just made a decision after like day 2. I was like, nah, like, you're not gonna run me, you're not, like, this headache, it needs to go. And as soon as I made that decision and I kind of stopped watching the news, blocked out, like, the word COVID-19 or Corona was blocked from my house. I was like, Mum, turn the TV down, don't want to hear the news. Like, I was really committed to just detaching myself from the coronavirus, right? And I felt better. But I genuinely did get sick, and I think that's because, not because I was scared. I didn't believe I had corona. I think there might have even been a moment I think I even said something to Chanel like, oh, this virus has come. I slipped into such a victim state so quick. And for me, for someone who I feel like I have quite a hold over my life and I like to believe I'm in control, it happened so quickly for me. So I know how quickly it's happening for so many other people out there in the world. And that's why it's so, so, so important to just be aware and only take in information that is positive and that resonates with you, that you want to receive, because I know how quick you can get into that moment of illness and that fear state, and it does weaken
brain kicks
and
in,
it does weaken your immune system. And I had to quickly just be like, I mean, thank God I'm lucky because I have got supportive friends. Chanel, she was kind of helping me advice every day, telling me to turn off my phone, etc. And she was also doing the same, I think, to stop herself from getting in that state as well. But it's really important that you kind of look at yourself and be like, right, what am I doing that's contributing to this? And I just made those small changes. And like I said, I did start drinking a nice little vial of magic potion. That helped. Sorry. Herbs,
roots and all that
I went on walks more often. I opened my blinds because for the first few days I was like, oh, my head hurts, so I've got to keep the blinds closed because, forget all that. No. Yeah, forget all that. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I even didn't watch TV. My TV was off for like 2 days, and I was just reading. Do you know what I mean? So, but I've experienced of recently how quick it is for you to get into that fear state of mind.
It can happen so quickly.
It can.
Do you know what I mean? And that's why having a good foundation of it behind you is, we're human, so we might slip back into the reptile brain sometimes and go into fear mode or whatever. But when you've got the knowledge and you've created some sort of a habit, you can bring it back.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? You could say, do you know, okay, I did freak out, but I know that I need to keep myself in a certain state and that I need to breathe, that I need to remain calm. Then I can think clearly, and then I can focus, and then I can think about what I'm going to do, how I'm going to respond to the situation, rather than just panic buying dried packet.
And you know what's funny?
Foods.
I even went as far as
I'm sorry, I have to say though, if we ever have another pandemic, can I just say that buying frozen meat and tinned food isn't going to help to boost your immune system.
Say it again.
Mic check.
People in
mic
the
check. Okay.
No,
just
so
saying,
true.
like,
No, very
fruits
true.
and vegetables.
They don't tell you that on the news though.
Yeah, fruits and vegetables, will assist your immune system. Even fasting, drinking lots of lemon water, natural herbs, garlic, ginger, these things will help to build up your body's natural defenses. I've seen, I'm not even going to get into this too much anyway, because we're talking about flow. Okay?
Yeah, so I was just saying, back to my story, I even went as far as, with my mum's aid, but went as far as calling a doctor, and I got prescription. I was vexed because the prescription was like £23. I still think it's a liberty that you got to pay for this stuff when I can go to the shop and buy natural herbs for a lot cheaper. But anywho, that's another discussion.
And so can I say that they just take an extra... Pharmaceutical fans, they actually take an extract. All the pharmaceuticals are taken from an extract from a herb and synthesized.
Yeah, exactly that.
And then all it's doing is creating disbalance.
But yeah, it's called alternative health
of the plant.
But anyway, and I remember getting the tablets, and I looked at this and I thought, I remember it was like the day after I got them, and I was like, Aaliyah, you're moving mad. Literally, I literally had to have that conversation. I was literally, because I don't even take paracetamol. If I've got a stomach ache, I'm a hot water bottle or mint tea or something, have a bath. But I'm never quit. I don't have some people have paracetamol in their bag. I don't. Do you know what I mean?
You'd be surprised at how powerful just breathing into pain can be. Like, just relaxing into it and breathing into it. Like, we can do amazing things with our mind and our body. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what you just reminded me of?
What?
When I have my first child, because I'm not a mum yet, I need to be in a flow state of mind in that labour.
Yeah.
Because you see them women, yeah? No, but you see
them the most.
But you also know some women who just, they literally, there's no noise, they're literally just like breathing through it, and the child, and I'm just like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And that, again, that's being in a flow state of mind. I'm preparing myself for when
I think so, yeah. Like, and honestly, like, pain management.
Wait, sorry. Just a disclaimer. I'm not having a child anytime soon.
I hear you, girl. I hear you. Your best life to live.
Yeah. But we also wanted to touch on as well how much abundance, water is all connected
water,
to the flow state of mind. Yeah. So we're going to give you a couple of facts which we're going to reel off based on research. So we're going to talk about how much of our body is composed of water.
Mm-hmm. This is because, water, yet again, is something that is quite mystical and spiritual in nature. Right. The same way, if you're a person that believes in crystal sage and stuff, you might already know about this stuff, or you may not be aware of this yet, but water has memory. Dr. Emoto is a person who first found proper research on the fact that water does have memory, where they take the water out of the tap, and then they put it under a microscope, freeze it, and the water is just disgusting and crazy looking under the microscope, and then they take the same water and pray over it.
You did this experiment, didn't you? Or similar experiment?
So I didn't do the experiment, but I do write affirmations sometimes on my water.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And I also buy like a crystal called shungite, which I put in my water to purify. You see it in my jugs, like there's black rocks. So like you put it in, and it's a natural water purifier. It comes from a river in Russia, I think, but natural purification. But he basically writes, positive affirmations or something positive, like the word love or whatever, on the the bottle of the water. You leave it, they freeze it, and then they can see, like, when you see a snowflake, it's like a crystalline structure, and it's symmetrical and it's pretty. So when the water is when you say something like love to the water, it actually responds and changes the structure of the water.
It's amazing.
So they'll take the same water out the tap, looks crazy, say some prayers over it or whatever, because they've done that as well, freeze it again, and the water is like a beautiful crystal shape, like how you see snowflake. So if you think about it, your body's made up of a lot of water, which we're going to give you the statistics for, but it's made up of a lot of water. So if you're walking around with bad thoughts, bad energy, that, all these things are going to affect your water. Yeah. Can you imagine?
It's mad. The stats are adult bodies up to 60% of water. The brain and heart are composed of 73% of water. Lungs are 83% of water, and the skin contains 64% of water. Muscle and kidney is 79% of water, and bones are 31% of water. So that's all the functions in our body are over 50%, bar our bones are over 50% made up of water. It's crazy. And then Chanel believes that there's a big correlation, and I completely agree that the connection between money and water.
Yep. Especially because, like, even in the language, money is always synonymous with water. They always make it like money is currency. You liquidate your assets. River bank, cash flow.
Preach.
It's all like, even like trading. You would trade at the dock of
very true.
Sea or whatever, wherever it is, pier or whatever, but it's all connected and related, and money is flow. Money comes in, money goes out. You can't, if you get stagnant with it, if you leave water in a jar for God knows how long, just sitting on the side, you're supposed to drink that. So you got to let it flow. Everything's got to flow. Money's got to flow. So that's why we can't be stingy to ourselves. Like what I said, like you're paying your rent, you're paying your bills, you're paying back a mate you owe money to. Don't be mad. Be in gratitude mode. Like, I'm so grateful.
And by doing that,
I'm so
you
grateful
create
to pay
space.
this rent, to have a roof over my own head.
Yeah, and by doing that, you create the space to receive.
Yeah.
To get more money, to bring in more abundance, to bring in more happiness, to bring in more love, to bring in more health, to bring in more wealth. Literally.
So, you let go of all the stress, the tension. You empty yourself out, empty out all the nonsense you don't need. The same way you should empty out your closet. If it's got a load of shit in it, empty out all the old crap so you can make space for the new crap.
100%. And you know how we always say, like, the magic happens outside of the comfort zone? The scientific truth behind it is that experience enriches the brain, and that's why they say the magic happens, because it's like, when you turn a light on, when you create a new experience, that's what happens in your mind. So it's like your brain goes, oh, that's something new.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Take note of that.
Yeah, and then you grow and your brain begins to rewire based off that experience.
Yeah.
So if you keep on having the same experiences, you're not going to grow, right?
Yeah.
But if you have new experiences, you're going to grow from that, because your brain's like, oh, okay, this is something new. Let me adapt to that.
New neural connections.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So every time you do something new, your brain fires up new wires because it has to, so that you can respond to that situation. And then when you do something over and over again, especially if it's something new, that's why you get better at it, because the connections that are created when you do something new solidify, get harder, or more prominent over time. Do you know what I mean? That's why some bad habits are hard to break too, because you've got those connections of doing that thing.
It's familiar.
And they're solidified.
Yeah.
So sometimes
it's
you
hard
have
to break those patterns. Yeah.
And your brain is going to be fired up and wired up wherever you're putting the attention to, wherever you're putting action towards. So that's something that's good to be aware of.
And so me and Chanel really love a neuroscientist called Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Love him.
His stories, and how he got to it in his journey and how he's got to where he is amazing. But he has spent the last however many years studying the science between the brain, the heart, and the body coherence, right? And he says that information and knowledge creates awareness, which is consciousness. As we learn knowledge, we change our energy. When you talk about it, when you practice it, when you study it, and you review it, you fire and wire the circuits in the brain. That's installing the neurological hardware in the brain and preparing yourself for an experience, right? And that's basically what Chanel was saying, is that when you start to change your beliefs, you're preparing yourself for a new experience, because you're saying to yourself, I am worthy of being abundant, or I am worthy of earning this amount of money a year, or I'm worthy of traveling to this. Do you know what I mean? No, and you're programming your brain to allow you to receive that.
Do you know that also? Is it Dr. Joe Dispenza that talks about this though? But I think someone proved that people that sit down and recite music in their brain, they recite and visualize the music, or they actually work out in their mind, they do it, they actually increase in muscle mass.
That's crazy.
Notes, when it's measurable.
Interesting fact.
Crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we're, we just...
There's more to it, but we just thought we would just bring it up.
Definitely.
Kind of,
and it's something that me and Chanel, as a brand, even as we grow to expand and we have employees, we're really going to encourage from a brand and business perspective. We definitely will be encouraging I don't even like to use the word staff, but I'll say our partners that work with us, to work on themselves at all times and have that open line of communication if they're not feeling comfortable with something, or something's not working for them, so that they can always live in that flow state of mind, because that's only going to affect us. It's only going to affect us in a positive way if they're working with us and they're working with Love Yourself to Success.
For sure.
So yeah, we definitely encourage all you guys to create space, get yourself into that flow state of mind, do research on it. Dr. Joe Dispenza. There's another guy.
Dr. Motto for the water. There's Greg Braden, who's quite good.
Yeah, Greg Braden's really good, actually.
Bruce Lipton's good too. He's got a book called Biology of Belief that I've read, but he's got lots of other stuff as well. But he actually is a scientist as well.
Okay.
And he talks about all the same things as well. Like he measures, it might have been him that talks about the measuring of the, your muscle mass increase. I think I need to have some dreams about pushing some hardcore weight. But I think he's one of those guys. He measures biology and how your mind, the biology of belief, how it actually affects you on a biological level, physical level. So he's a good guy to check out too.
Yeah, but thank you for listening to us again. Thanks for listening to it. Wow, what's going on with you? Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
We'll definitely be back next week with another podcast, another topic. So please share with your friends and family, like and subscribe, and we'll be back next week.
And check us out on Instagram.
Yeah. See you later. Bye.
Bye.